Not real good. No, it was today was a little rough. We weren't nearly as sharp as we'd been. Defense did some good things today. They put some new stuff in we weren't quite on point with. And honestly, I don't. Until you watch the film, you don't know fully what happened. But as long as we take care of the football, the other stuff we can always fix schematically and all that other stuff. So that's the biggest point. Today, I thought the ball was on the ground a couple times. We threw 2 picks. Those are the things that can't happen.
Rich, Tom McClain, I know last year got a lot of kind of off-season hype for his versatility. What do you see in him, and how you can use him in this offense?
Honestly, like right now, just kind of working through everybody. I'm just working through everyone right now. Honestly, I couldn't even really fully comment on that right now. Sorry to not to that. Sorry, but I want to. Yeah,
some about the fullback.
I'll get you on that one.
Stuff there, but it looked like Dingle was out there quite a bit. What do you see in him? I guess what makes the
part of this whole process is every day kind of we're putting in different packages. Like there was some new stuff in today, and you're auditioning to see what guys are capable of, what they're what they can handle, what their versatility is, kind of what our best 11 is going to be at certain times. And that is all while doing it against a defense that is very good, very well coached, that throws a lot of different things at you that not necessarily the schemes are meant for what they're doing. And so that always is like a challenge as part of it. But guys like Dingle or other versatile guys, you're just trying to put them in position to see what they can do and whether they can handle it. And I thought he's done a great job.
schematically? What do you like about that position? I mean, the fullback's not always used in a lot of offenses these days. What does that bring?
It's 2 things. I mean, in the NFL, it has an entirely different meaning because you're trying to force people to play base defense and simplify things. But ultimately, the exciting part of college football is not a lot of people face it, and that gives you an advantage when they don't understand how to fit the run or the things you can do to help run the football and or spread people out with a guy who's versatile and create matchups in space. And so that's the goal of having different guys, tight ends that are unique, and we have a really good group of tight ends that have lots of different characteristics that we can do those things with.
How do you how do you use formations going from split out wide to kind of bunch stuff? How does that put pressure on the defense?
Yeah, I mean it's again I don't think my background, what we did in the NFL, it kind of you don't see as much of it in college. That's not a lot of people maybe know how to use it, or it's part of their systems and it's at their core because you have to believe in it. So you're not going to dabble in it. When it's what you do, it forces teams to not bump you, so you don't have to be as good against them in press man coverage. It can displace people, so you can create openings in the run game. It has a lot of purpose, but from bunch sets you can break that with motions and things like that you're hoping puts pressure on a defense with adjustments and stuff like that, and that's what we're trying to do.
Is it also one of those things that you have to set up, like progress through to set up, or can you just get feelings and kind of roll with it?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. A lot of things are packaged, so that you can have a versatile amount of plays to attack schemes that you're going to see from different formations. So that's part of it. It's having enough versatility to put pressure on a team without it being so complicated that it bogs you down. And it's that fine line. And so we're working through all that stuff now. And part of that has to do with the earlier question: what are guys capable of? Let's see what their skill sets are. Can they block? Can they play big at the point of attack? Are they good against catching the ball in space? Do they play with length? All those things are important.
You have a lot of guys that fit in the slot position and slot receiver. How much pressure does it put on defense?
Yeah, I mean, last year they had an elite special slot, and I think the one thing about college football is the hashes allow you more space to the field, and that puts a big importance on the slot position, and having a guy that has feel, can find space, can also beat bump coverage, has enough wiggle to get yards after the catch bubble screens, all those things. That takes a special guy, and you need one of those to be successful. They can be, and that's where the question comes back to motions and bunches and things like that. So it's a combination of that, and always trying to be one step ahead of your opponent.
Rich, how are they doing overall about handling things, about picking things up they've done in the past?
I felt very, very good about it leading up to today. But I also believe that part of being a really good football team, and this was Coach's message after practice, which is I 1,000% agree with, is, can you run it back every day? Can you take steps forward? Can you, when you do make mistakes, not make the same ones, and then do you progressively get better? And I felt like we've made strides, but you can't be taking steps back, and that's the maturity of your leaders, the maturity of your group, and as coaches we have to do a great job of making sure we coach at a high level so that they understand that and they can execute.
Rich, I saw Marcus Harris taking a lot of leadership roles and leading on the drills today. What would you say that has impressed you so far about his play and his leadership?
I think that in a group where you have a lot of youth, somebody has to step up and own that, and that's a bigger group on a team. They make up a good portion of your numbers, and so he's done a good job in that room leading those guys where there's a lot of youth and asserting himself. But and I think that can eke its way into all areas. But you're part of this is looking for the guys who are going to be those guys in the year and who you can count on, and as coaches getting a feel for those individuals.
About that tackle spot, obviously it had a lot of questions coming in the spring. Can you evaluate it at this point, or do you have to wait till you get to the scrimmage kind of situations to really point out?
No, I mean, every day is an evaluation. We're going to go up there today, watch the tape. It's how they do the drills. It's their one-on-ones they do. It's how they handle the mental errors and whether they can play fast. So all that is part of the eval process. And then, each step is what happens when you're live, what happens when the coaches aren't on the field to help you, what happens when you go against a really good football player. And so we're working through all that. But I've been pleased with the O-line overall. It's a lot we've thrown at them, but they've handled it, and they played pretty well for the most part.
Rich, you just kind of mentioned you're still learning what guys are capable of doing. For you as a coach, have you felt you've had to maybe tweak how you teach or approach things going from, you said, that transition back into college football?
Yeah, quite honestly. I mean, there's put in a play today, and we stood out on the field, and I just had to make sure I know where the hole in the defense is and where it needs to be thrown on every ball in the NFL. And now the hashes are a little different. I had a feeling where I thought it would be, and we went out there and we worked through it, and we said, it's probably 2 yards wider than that, and we figured it out. Like, there is some of that going on for me as well. Defense is defense, and understanding the structures and the weaknesses and the holes. Yeah, we're always trying to attack those things, but where that attack happens sometimes, there's there's some of that little stuff that you can do also that you can't do in the NFL that I'm enjoying that college football provides you too. So.
Rich, Eli, how's he progressing?
What's that?
Eli Cox moving to center, how's he progressing?
I thought he's done a great job.
And how important is that relationship in your offense, that quarterback-center relationship, especially going
It's very important. It's again, you're the captain of that group. That group's usually the heartbeat of your team. He's done a great job as a leader, and I really like his demeanor, and I think he's a really good football player.
But you were moving to the defense a few times. Forgive me for already mentioned, but did you ever encounter Brad, and what characteristics do you see in his defense maybe you don't see in others that don't have a decent
Love it.
NFL background?
I love his defense. We've been talking about it quite a bit. Actually, it reminds me of kind of the trend of the NFL right now, and we've had some discussions. It's not everyone understands it. Not everyone can teach it. It has a lot of intricacies. It's very detailed. It's pro-driven, and kind of the in vogue defense in the NFL is the 3-4 style of defense that or odd defense that plays a certain type of back end coverage that's very multiple. The Rams had gone to it. It was Vic Fangio's defense, who I coached against it every day. It's kind of that mode. It's Brandon Staley, these guys, and to me, it has that same feel to it, and I love it. It's a challenge. He throws a lot at you, and it has a lot of versatility. So he's got smart players. He knows how to use them, and he does a really good job of putting them in those positions.
How much back and forth has there been, I'm sure that develops over time, about you talking to him, hey, could you do this to help my guys, or I'll do this to help your guys, as far as giving him looks and things like that?
Yeah, that's a credit to Coach Stoops, but we have a really good relationship within the building amongst offense, defense. It's competitive, but yet we're helping each other learn. We're not trying to, I'm not going out. I want to be our best version when we walk out there, and we need to play better than we played today for sure. But ultimately I'm trying to help coach and me too. So there's definitely, just today alone, there was give and take where I'll do things for him and he'll do things for me so that we can, we may not do that on Saturday schematically for what's best, but it's allowing us to grow. And there's quite a bit of that going on because there's a good relationship.
Kind of at the midpoint right now in the spring, what would you like to see as a priority the rest of the way?
You know, now we're really into situational football. You know, so we've been a lot of base offense and stuff. Today was, you know, almost exclusively a lot of third down or whole 7-on-7 and a lot of that team periods and those blitz periods. They were all geared towards third down, which is hard to manage and different in its own world. We got red zone and those types of things are where you win or lose championships and being efficient and high and taking care of the ball and great in protection. And that's the part that these next few practices you want to see us get better and better at. The base stuff, I feel good at our foundation right now where we're at. It's the finer points now.
You mentioned taking care of the football. I don't recall but seeing the ball on the ground once today. How you feel about your offense?
We'd been pretty good, but there was 2 interceptions today that I thought, you know, definitely we can control. And then there was a snap on the ground and a toss back on one play that was, a timing element with the running back and quarterback. So those are the things when you got 5 or 6 running backs taking reps, 4 different quarterbacks, 3 different centers over the course of practice. They happen, but there's no excuses. They can happen, and we got to clean it up.
Couple more. Anyone else?
How do you feel about the running back catching the ball out of the backfield?
I think it's a very important part of any offense, and I think we have the guys to do it. So actually today that was a little bit we were trying to achieve some stuff. But we're also trying to manage C-Rod and let the other guys see what they can do as well. But I think he's got a real ability to catch the ball out of the backfield.
You kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but you talked to us a little bit about changing from the pro to the college game. How would you describe the energy that you have now each day for a different brand of coaching, like real teaching and more fundamentals and things like that compared to where you played?
Yeah, I mean, again, NFL players are it's a business, it's a job. You know, they got families, and they come in at 6 in the morning and they leave at 6 at night, and they grind. You know, that's their whole life. So, it's different in that respect. However, my attitude and trying to be positive and really being upbeat and coach guys that way is always going to be who I am and bring that juice. And if I want myself to be that way, I like the coaches around me to be that way. And you don't have to kill them every day. You can be hard on them, but you can love them too. And that's part of the process. And that's just who I'm going to be. And I hope we're all that way. Yeah.
You mentioned that this defense played pretty well today. What do you see that's kind of helped them grow over the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think they were seeing new things too. Obviously we're showing them an offense. You're not game planning each other. You're just going out there every day and installing your offenses and defenses. And sometimes those looks aren't perfect for what you're putting in. And so as they see what we do and as we see what they do, we get, it's a give and take. And that's usually every program, training camp, spring. But when they elevate their game, you're expected to elevate yours too, and I think that's what brings out greatness on both sides of the ball in the long run.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.